people think, okay, this seems pretty easy. I drink beer, I eat food, I can run a fucking restaurant. Yeah. Well, it's a business too. Restaurant, business is two different words. It's two different concepts.
Hyper competitive.
Right. Like you don't know how to read a P&L, but you're going to own a business. Wrong move, right? And again, I see it all the time. And so that's kind of why I love doing what I'm doing, because I try to help people understand what that is, right? So I'll get to that then. So I was giving you the whole backstory on how all these, so anyway, so Tortilla Flat, she wants to get out of it. I say, hey, will you do a deal where you carry a note, blah, blah, blah. I love these kind of deals because it's, you don't have to go get a lot of financing and things.
You're creative. Kind of again, creativity.
So I ended up getting another property out there. And while we were doing that, DTC came around, D1 came around, because actually we were going to do D1 because Mike is from the gym industry back in the day in Vegas, and I really love the concept of D1. I'm not a fan of franchises, but D1 I loved because it had a lot to do with Scholastics, which your daughter goes, and I love my son, and you and us, and so my son being in soccer, and I just wanted the kid's always on his phone, always watching YouTube. Everybody that's a parent now knows what's going on. It drives people nuts, and so that's why I wanted to do that. So D1 came around. We had an opportunity for DTC, and Mike is going to do these things with or without me, and so I was just like, well, of course I'm going to be in. And that's just our partnership. And so then Rusty Buckle came around, then DTC and Tempe came around. So they just kind of waterfalled. I mean, we opened up, I think 5 or 6 businesses in less than like 13 months.
Well, just since I've known you, I think you guys, like when you first opened because that's your second D1, right?
That's the D1 is our first one. We have 2 that we have rights to, but that's the first one.
Oh, so
we have rights to Queen Creek.
You're not involved in the other one. That's
no.
What is it, Warner and Val Vista?
No, so we're not partners with we're friends, partners with the owner,
that's Kylie.
Yeah, so he's helped us a lot tremendously.
But you're not
amazing
guy.
One. No, we're not owner. We work together.
And you have rights to open another one in Queen Creek?
We have rights to Queen Creek.
That one's going to kill it.
Yeah, so that's
Do you have a location for it already?
No, so that's where
good. We're going to talk after.
Yeah, we can talk about that. So
See, we're getting you deals at the same time as we're doing this.
I haven't shut up. I feel like I'm talking forever, but I'm trying to get you all the info because there's so much detail.
Yeah, because I remember like when we first started working out at D1 and I first met you and Mike, you had all this stuff in the works.
In the brew, yeah.
Yeah, like it was almost like just fill it all up.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we call ourselves deal junkies basically, and we like to use the term aggressive patience.
What? Yeah.
So we're always aggressive, but we're patient about it because we don't want to make the wrong move. So the aggression,
controlled chaos.
Exactly. Yeah. You have to be aggressive and looking at it all the time, but you can't get emotional about it, which is horrible for actually both of us because I get super emotional. And then I'm like, well, that was fucking stupid because I should have thought about that a little longer, but yeah, but that makes me who I am. And
there's a book. Isn't it Ready, Fire, Aim?
Yeah. I haven't read it, but I know that book. Yes. Yeah. So.
Is you overthink it, you get stuck in analysis paralysis. And then, like we said, the only guarantee is if you don't do anything, nothing's going to happen.
Right.
One thing I'm really curious, and I think, if we think about who the audience is that watches this stuff, our show is probably, people that are in real estate that want to understand a variety of aspects. And the reason I wanted to bring you on here is to give a different perspective. Almost, there's 2 ways, and you and I have talked about this. I want people to understand the perspective of the operator. They hear us talk about, Fortune 500 companies. We deal with big corporations, but there's also like what you and I talked about offline, that knowing the good operators and groups that have concepts with legs. Mm-hmm. You're not just we don't want to see every center be a bunch of, Jersey Mikes and all this. We want to mix and match, and we want things like the Tipsy Egg, and we want, the Rusty Buckle. Like all I've heard is how great it's doing. And, it's one of those concepts that I think, I'm a huge country fan.
Yeah. It's a hot trend right now.
Line dancing's getting crazy popular, So like, how do you guys, like is it Mike that's really kind of coming up with concepts? Is it you?
Well, the concept thing is basically a 50-50, I think, for him and I.
Someone has an idea and then you guys kind of bounce.
Yeah. So we want to do this DTC. We knew we wanted to do a sports bar. What are we going to do? And then we'll text each other names.
That was called The Local.
It was. So we were going to call it The Local DTC. Smitty, the old owner, didn't like that. So we just changed it to DTC, which just means Downtown Chandler.
Yeah.
But it had a cool ring. We had a cool logo. And we're like, hey, and people are like,
So
well,
it
what
gives
if
you your sports bar?
Yeah, and if you haven't been there, it's amazing.
Awesome.
It's going really well. The food, of course, we're food first, so we've been in the business, and it's one of those things we're very, very particular about the food we're putting out. It's not rocket science.
And if the food's good, people will come back.
Yeah, we hire great staff, and we're diligent about making sure that the guest experience is where we want it to be. I mean, when you talk about hospitality, I mean, if you haven't read Unreasonable Hospitality by Will Guidara and you're in this business, you have to read it. It articulates everything you need to know about this business and real hospitality. Because again, as we've grown, it's just like anything, generation after generation, you start talking about, well, the kids these days, it's just changed, right? It's, the kid is a baby's a baby, no matter what century it's born or what year, it's how they're conditioned, right? So, again, back to like my son on his gaming or his phone or whatever, it's just generations the way they're doing it now. But, work ethic and caring about people, we can bring that into any century and into any year, right? So, we really try to up our game when it comes to guest experience, the food they're getting, their ticket times, their upsells, their greeting, their everything. And there's just so much content out there. And this, in all these businesses, everybody's a creator now. Everybody's got content. Everybody's got this and that. And some is great, but it's putting it into action, right? Like, hospitality first, when we talk about it, like you want people to come in and there's a million sports bars out there, right? But I know that our product is great. I go out to eat all the time. I try to be unbiased. I see horrible and I get horrible experiences and I see horrible menus and I see these things. And it's like, man, it's not that hard if you just put a little love and care into what you're doing. And we do that. We try to do that, and we're very meticulous about it. And that's why some of these things are, they're doing well because I think people see that and they're coming back. DTC has been great for us in Chandler, but it's just is our first one. And from there, it springboarded a ton of opportunity. All the guys that invested with us at Rusty Buckle came from DTC. That cool. We came there as fans, and now we bought a building in Queen Creek that we're going to do Rusty Buckle down there as well.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, you didn't know? Yeah.
No.
So it's let's see, that's where you should have came in. You should have. I fucked him on that one. I should have got you on that one. I should have been your deal.
That's all right. Synergy.
That's my bad, bro.
Synergy things happen when they're.
Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like this video, want to catch the entire episode of this Rent Stew podcast, click right here. If you're loving the Rent Stew podcast and you want to see more episodes, click right here. And as always, stay hungry, my friends.